Okay, thank you, so Code for Change team and Nirajan Chetri for allowing me this space to say something as per my experience. And all the best to Conclave 2020 team. I think you have been doing a wonderful job. Many times what we have seen in the past is whenever we think of such conclave or conferences, what we do is we think of a place where we'll gather at an room and share the learning. But I think one positive side of this pandemic, जहाँ चाहिँ हामीलाई COVID-19 को effectले चाहिँ के सिकाएको छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ we can go virtual and learn as many things as we can. And I've seen in last 4 months I've been actively in many forum and I've been representing Merojob and talking on different topic. So I think this is a beauty on the other side. So your pandemic, one of the best thing that had happened is we have been adapted to technology more. In fact, when tech savvy मान्छे हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरुको लागि त it's not a big deal, but there are people who are not that tech savvy. उहाँहरुको केसेसमा चाहिँ they have also started adaptation, especially हामी कलेज नभए स्कुलहरुतिर हेर्छौं भने चाहिँ they have actually started in online sessions where people have already been used to it. First thing first, so I'm Bishnu Karki. I am business director at Merojob. Beside that, I also work as an advisor in Real Solutions, Rozgari, and iLogic. We're growing as a group of company. Merojob, yo chara company growing as a group of company. Mero role say Merojob I'm leading the team. Beside that, I also work in advisor in Real Solutions. It's a HR consulting firm. Rozgari probably you might know. It's a Rozgari more semi-skilled human resource deal garchhौं. iLogic is IT company. So for your information, यो IT company बाट चाहिँ बाकी जति पनि तपाईको तीनटा बिजनेस मोडल छ, यो तीनटा बिजनेस मोडललाई चाहिँ we have been incorporated in more technology savvy बाट technology based भएर चाहिँ हामी आजको दिनमा चाहिँ गइरहेछौं. So we have got around 27 people in our as an IT team हुनुहुन्छ. There are lots of programmer, QA QC को DevOps team पनि हुनुहुन्छ. I personally work closely with them. So probably if time will permit, I'll share those experiences as well. So in my slide, what I've done is I've brought up some informations which definitely will be helpful to especially the group of people, the students who have been exploring the job market, especially IT industry. Expectation the data that I'm going to share with you is definitely going to be helpful to you all. Your data say this data has been Merojob ko detail analysis your data present so your data like past around 10 years को चाहिँ analysis पनि गरेका छौं तर यसमा चाहिँ म तपाईलाई recent data हरुमा चाहिँ तपाईलाई डिटेलहरु चाहिँ शेयर गर्न चाहन्छु जाने चाहिँ I want you to take a learning from this sharing. I'm talking about IT, the future of IT jobs and innovation in Nepal भनेर चाहिँ जुन टपिकमा म कुरा गर्दैछु. I will start with job first. Your job ma say IT industry contribution say kasto cha bhanne kura चाहिँ first of all, with your permission, I would like to present that. In Merojob we have 3,837 companies who are registered in IT. IT ko segment ma चाहिँ हामीले register गरेका छौं. त्यसमा तपाईको there are typical IT companies जले चाहिँ they have been dealing from different region throughout the globe उहाँहरु हुनुहुन्छ भने there are ISPs, there are locally developed companies, there are fintech companies. You सबैलाई चाहिँ हामीले accumulated एक ठाउँमा हाल्दा फेरि चाहिँ out of 34,000 clients that we serve from Merojob, there are 3,837 clients are from IT industry. र यसको थोरै अर्को स्टार्ट चाहिँ म तपाईलाई के देखाउन चाहन्छु भन्दा फेरि for your information, and I think it's really encouraging for you as well. You चाहिँ based on announcement, based on vacancy announcement, career announcement हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ IT has been in top industry actually, and not only 1 or 2 years, 3 consecutive years. I mean, 2020 like exclude गरेर अहिले हेर्यौं भने चाहिँ 17, 18 र 19 को डेटा लाई चाहिँ मैले एक्सप्लोर गर्दा फेरि चाहिँ top तपाईको 3 consecutive years right, IT has been contributing in the market as in top career announcement industry चाहिँ तपाईको गरिरहेछ. So if IT is the first, you might ask second or third चाहिँ कुन होला भन्ने हिसाबमा तपाईलाई क्युरियोसिटी हुन सक्छ. For your information, INGOs or NGOs जहाँ चाहिँ तपाईको अर्को बल्क रिक्वायरमेन्ट्सहरु हुन्छ त्यहाँनेरि चाहिँ they come on second. र interestingly, third is education industry. So if you'll see, education as an industry has also been contributing in employment as in job. Nepalese market ma चाहिँ it comes in the third place. Next, let's talk about यो तपाईको जति पनि यो अनाउन्समेन्ट भएको छ यो अनाउन्समेन्टलाई चाहिँ मैले फेरि तपाईलाई 3 इयर्सको डेटालाई प्रेजेन्ट गर्न चाहन्छु सो इट गिभ यु व्हाई एम शेयरिङ दिस इज इट विल गिभ यु अ बिट अफ आइडिया एन्ड यदि फ्रेस ग्रेजुएट हुनुहुन्छ अर द इफ यु हेभ इन यो ग्रुपमा चाहिँ हामीसँग आई क्यान सी द लट्स अफ पिपल कनेक्टेड विथ मी राइट नाउ सो तपाईँ यदि रिसेन्टली नै यदि यु आर एक्सप्लोरिङ फर द अपर्च्युनिटी करियर अपर्च्युनिटी एक्सप्लोर गरिरहनु भएको छ भने चाहिँ यो डेटाले चाहिँ तपाईँलाई प्रिपेयर्डनेसमा चाहिँ हेल्प गरोस् भन्ने हिसाबमा चाहिँ आइ एम ट्राइङ टु प्रेजेन्ट इट. So if you'll see in 2017, there were around 1,600 jobs that was published. In year 2018, around 2,000. In year 2019, almost 2,100 jobs published. Now I'll give more detail after showing the next data. You 80 job is per position published हुन्छ. For an example, PHP developer भनेर position publish भयो भने त्यसमा तपाईको 5 जना मागेको हुन सक्छ 3 जना मागेको हुन सक्छ. So त्यो हेड काउन्टलाई तपाईले यदि हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ 17 मा there were 5,260 requirement. 5,896 in 2018. 2019 मा चाहिँ it has been drastically growth छ तपाईको यो केसमा हेर्नुभयो भने in terms of positions as well, in terms of requirement as well, 6,725. यो डेटा चाहिँ तपाईलाई मैले जुन देखाइरहेको छु यो डेटाले चाहिँ रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्ने भनेको 3,837 क्लाइन्ट्स जुन चाहिँ मेरोजबमा रजिस्टर्ड हुनुहुन्छ अन आईटी त्यो डेटालाई चाहिँ यसले क्याटेगोराइज गरेर चाहिँ इन्फर्मेसन दिन्छ. नाउ there might be it might sound really little for you, but you हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ मैले भने top of the industry को data भएको हुनाले चाहिँ I think this is really encouraging data that we need to understand. अर्को हेर्नुहुन्छ भने यदि हेड काउन्ट मागिन्छ भने चाहिँ what's the number of applications that client have been receiving. So in year 2017, IT मा तपाईको we have more than 45,000 applicant ले चाहिँ apply गर्नु भएको थियो. In 18, 62,000. In the year 2019, you can see 70,000 applicant ले चाहिँ apply गर्नु भएको छ. So आज मैले एक ठाउँमा apply गरेँ र दुई ठाउँमा apply गरेँ, that's counted at 2. यो केसेसमा हेर्नुभयो भने in an average एउटा single position को लागि चाहिँ there are 30 applications the IT company have been receiving, which means there's things that we need to know from this is it's really competitive. The IT industry it's one of the most competitive industry in terms of number of applications that we have been getting. Your cases ma, if you are applying as an individual, position ma apply you are at least competing from 10 to 30 people. Right? So if you do not have that skill set which is required to get qualified in any job positions, then I think it's high time that you need to realize what are the changes that I need to do and what are the things I need to work on. Academic degree लिएर जब निस्किनुहुन्छ त्यो academic degree ले मात्रै आजको दिनमा चाहिँ it's not helping. So most of the clients, when I'm having direct conversation with them, is what they want from a fresh graduate is they want obviously there's no any experience त उहाँले एक्सपेक्ट गर्नुहुन्न तर बेसिक तपाईले यदि कोडिङ नै गर्नुहुन्छ भने नि कोडिङमा पनि तपाईको आफ्नो जुन भन्न कमन सेन्सलाई युज गरेर चाहिँ मोर एनालाइटिकल गरेर चाहिँ रिजल्ट ओरिएन्टेड एउटा बिजनेस ड्राइभ गर्न सकिने हिसाबमा पनि उहाँले एक्सपेक्ट गर्नुहुन्छ. इट माइट साउन्ड लिटल बिट बट डेफिनेटली दिस इज एन एक्सपेक्टेसन फ्रम द क्लाइन्ट साइड. तपाईँले क्लाइन्टलाई हेर्नुभयो भने चाहिँ देयर आर लट्स अफ चान्स द्याट वी हेभ गिभन टु फ्रेस ग्रेजुएट्स बट दे आर नट एबल टु पर्फर्म. दिस इज वाट वी हियर फ्रिक्वेन्टली इन द मार्केट. सो फ्रम दिस what I would like to say is यदि तपाईँ मार्केटमा आइरहनु भएको छ इज लाइक अदर, then what is the thing that makes you stand out from the crowd? That's you need to analyze those things. That's really critical. As a moment of time ma chai hernu bhayo bhane it's again really critical. I'll give you a comparison. Industry wise तपाईले comparison हेर्नु भयो भने चाहिँ applications को बेसमा तपाईको comparison हेर्नु भयो भने चाहिँ where does IT industry stand भन्ने केसेसमा चाहिँ IT industry मा जति applications आउँछ it's half of what banking industry is receiving right now. For an example, तपाईकोमा 70,000 आइरहेछ भने banking मा चाहिँ at least 150 or 160,000 applications चाहिँ आइरहेछ. The biggest sum at this date last 10 years लाई एनालाइज गर्दा फेरि चाहिँ what we found from Merojob is हाम्रो चाहिँ यो data scientist को team नै बसेर यो सबै एनालाइसिस गरेर मैले तपाईलाई जति पनि प्रेजेन्ट गरिरहेको छु उहाँहरुसँग बसेरै निकालेको डेटाहरु हो यो. त्यही भएर यसलाई हामीले रिभेरिफाई र अथेन्टिकेट गरेर पनि लिएर आएको छौं. So this is a source where you can rely actually. So half of what banking industry is actually getting, that's what we are getting in IT. But there is an encouraging thing as well. मैले तपाईलाई जुन दुईटा कम्पेरिजन देखाए ING र एजुकेसन सेक्टरमा हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ if we are receiving IT is receiving 60,000 applications हरु आइरहेछ भने ING र एजुकेसन सेक्टरमा चाहिँ त्यो सेक्टर भन्दा IT ले चाहिँ 3 times more applications चाहिँ रिसिभ गरिरहनु भएको छ, which means लास्ट तपाईको 2 or 3 years लाई एनालाइज गर्ने भने चाहिँ IT को छाम एकदमै बढेको छ. right? So there are lots of people who have been actually exploring an opportunity in IT. So IT ले चाहिँ तपाईको एकदमै राम्रो. So तपाईले हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. So banking industry पछाडी चाहिँ IT has the biggest charm in Nepal. र आजको सिचुएसनमा यो चाहिँ एकदमै appropriate पनि हो जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ. Appropriate in a sense, if you'll see after the we have gone through this pandemic situation. यो pandemic situation ले हामी सबैलाई what message it has given is, we need to be tech savvy. One, the company should integrate IT. I've seen lots of business people that have been saying that and we're going into innovations, we're going to IT incorporate गरेर जान्छौं भन्ने केसेसहरुमा चाहिँ there are lots of things that has come up in this time, during the pandemic चाहिँ अहिले आइराको सिचुएसन छ. अब IT industry the one of the top हो, तर यो top मध्येमा पनि तपाईले हेर्नुभयो भने चाहिँ what are the top 10 positions यो IT कम्पनीहरुले चाहिँ पब्लिश गर्नुभएको केसेसमा चाहिँ I think this data will be helpful to you. The first, सबैभन्दा धेरै PHP developer खोजिन्छ हाम्रोमा. Then comes graphic designer. Then comes marketing officer. So non-IT requirement हेरु पनि तपाईको IT कम्पनीहरुले चाहिँ आजको दिनमा खोजिरहनु भएको छ. So what we need to understand is it's not only the IT persons working in an IT organizations. There are lots of other people as well. जहाँ चाहिँ यो डेटाले पनि देखाउँछ, तर majority 80% of the top 10 positions हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ so two positions it's related to IT. Right? There are few commercial positions and marketing officer, business development officer, यो एक दुईवटा पोजिसनलाई हामीले content writer लाई हामीले exclude गर्यौं भने चाहिँ majority is so 7 out of 10 is related to IT कै the IT graduates नै खोजिरहनु भएको छ, IT enthusiasts नै खोजिरहनु भएको छ उहाँहरुले चाहिँ. So यो डेटाले चाहिँ तपाईहरु यदि if you are pursuing educations and if you are freshly graduating, then I think it's gonna definitely help you. यो डेटाले चाहिँ तपाईले कसरी बुझ्न सक्नुहुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यदि highest number of applications नै highest number of job positions नै यो पोजिसन्सहरुमा मागिरहनु भएको छ भने चाहिँ I think it's in you have opportunity to actually join an organizations with this skill. यदि तपाईसँग चाहिँ यो स्किल सेट छ or यो नलेज छ हैन, यो प्रोग्रामिङ ल्याङ्ग्वेजको चाहिँ तपाईसँग एक्सपर्टिजम छ भने चाहिँ it's definitely going to help you, right? So take it that way. This information I request you to take it that way, right? So let me move on. So in 2019, I'll just highlight in data where you can understand which were the top companies which made an announcement in Merojob. So these were the top 12 companies. जसले चाहिँ सबैभन्दा धेरै चाहिँ IT को need र IT को requirement मा र यो चाहिँ सबै IT category मा राखेको छौं हामीले उहाँहरुलाई. So त्यो बेसमा चाहिँ हेर्नु भयो भने there are fintech industry which I've included. You can see eSeva and Khaldi. Right? There are telecommunication service provider like Jetty. There are telecommunication even Ansel le pani hamroma remarkable announcement heru garnu bhako cha 2019. So what you can expect is CoTVT is the one who had made the highest number of requirements. So सबैभन्दा धेरै तपाईको यही डाटाले पनि के देखाउँछ भन्दाखेरि यो अर्गनाइजेसनमा चाहिँ सबैभन्दा धेरै headcount need they need more people, and they have made more announcement from these company means they are growing as well. The company growth पनि भइरहेछ. So तपाईको आफ्नो career को objective बाट पनि यो डाटा लाई हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ it gives you information that okay, joining this organization is definitely interesting for you all. So CoTVT, eSeva, Khaldi, UVA Solution, just to name few. In the second row you can see Berix, Jetty, EV Pulse, Info Developers, right? You have already seen Bionet, Fuse Machine, Itonix, and Ansel. So what सबैलाई चाहिँ हामीले यो क्याटेगोरीमा राखेका छौं, and these are the top 10 publishers in Merojob. Okay, now let me move on. So it's been almost 14 years that I'm working in this industry. I've worked with Ansel as well. Merojob मा पनि तपाईको काम overall experience हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ I've worked in technology field नै मैले काम गरेको हुनाले चाहिँ मैले यो last 10 years लाई चाहिँ कसरी देख्छु भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ म थोरै तपाईलाई हाइलाइट गर्न चाहन्छु. I've seen like हाम्रो traditional newspaper बाट चाहिँ things have already gone digital. Online खबर आजको दिनमा हेर्नुहुन्छ भने globally top 1000 most visited website मा आउँछ. नेपालको context मा it's definitely in second or third, तर normally अर्को global data हेर्नुहुन्छ भने there are billions of websites or millions of websites जहाँनेरि चाहिँ online cover wholesale positions Nepalese territory मा भए तापनि top 1000 most visited website मा आउँछ भने चाहिँ it's really encouraging. The data that I'm saying is based on Alexa or California based organization जसले चाहिँ यो तपाईको डिटेल एनालाइज गर्नुहुन्छ. alexa.com मा गएर तपाईले डिटेल हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. Now if you'll see, so what जुन अघि बेसरा सरले पनि भन्नुभएको थियो, there are 24 million people who have access to the internet, which is right actually, which is त्यो डिटेलले पनि हेर्नुहुन्छ भने the people who have been exploring news are from either mobile or web version मै नि धेरै गर्न रुचाइरहनु भएको छ भनेपछि ट्रेडिसनली बाट चाहिँ यतातिर तपाईको शिफ्ट भइरहेछ आईटी एज एन इन्डस्ट्री चाहिँ फिनटेक कम्पनी इट्स कम्प्लिटली नट एन आईटी कम्पनी चाहिँ सायद उहाँहरूले पनि भन्नुहुन्छ होला सो फाइनान्शियल सोल्युसन सँगसँगै टेक्नोलोजीलाई चाहिँ इन्कर्पोरेट गरेर जानु भएको छ सो फिनटेक इटसेल्फ इज सो इसेवा has been living in 10 years past 10 years मा चाहिँ it's again growing we all know that beside that food segment मा there are company like Foodmandu, there are lots of a bunch of other as well, more than 2 dozens of company who have been providing solutions in food. You sabai chai tapaiko hernu bhayo bhane chai they are somehow based in technology or digital platform bata chai uhanle ajako dinma chai business garirahnu bhako cha we need to understand that a company like from job ma hernu bhayo bhane we have been leading the market since 10 years so हामीले पनि एउटा complete solution नै लिएर आएको हुनाले we were able to do it e-commerce ma we have company like Daraz. If you'll see the other company like stock market मा हेर्नुहुन्छ भने मेरो लगानी जस्तो कम्पनीहरुले चाहिँ आजको दिनमा लीड गरिरहनु भएको छ grocery solutions been just few years yet they have been one of the pioneer in their field है so traditionally कुनै ठाउँमा गएर हामी शपमा गएर पर्चेज गर्दियौं भने आजको दिनमा चाहिँ it comes to our doorsteps anything that we need as in grocery comes to our doorstep आजको दिनमा kirana has been doing so for vegetable and fruits तपाईको there have been solutions provided by metro tarkari. So calendar we have it most of us have these applications in our mobile I guess hamro patro they have been actually buy and sell ko lagi we have hamro bazaar mobility ko lagi we have total liquor ko lagi we have organization like cheers medicine ko lagi again in a delivery in our doorstep gv books kitab yatra they have been doing really well beside this to take the few names there are lots of games that has been locally developed as a time there are lots of electronic devices जसले पनि incorporate गरिसक्नुभयो to name CG Digital they have gone digital and providing lots of offer so many people have been actually habituated and have been taking this platform as an opportunity recently pandemic situation ma this is one of the good example if you'll see in automobile so automobile ma even the car even the bikes what they have done is even they have publicly said so booking has been online तपाईको test drive पनि तपाईको online request गर्न सकिन्छ they delivered the vehicle for the test drive at your home or तपाईको doorstep मा चाहिँ आउँछ now if we'll see all this information and there are many more other examples commonly तपाईले हेर्नु भयो भने चाहिँ delivery solutions has been really hype in the market or mobility solution has been really hype in the market आजको दिनमा चाहिँ है so मेरो 10 years को उसमा पनि हेर्नुहुन्छ भने these are the company which we know or we commonly talk about which we commonly are fascinated about so if you'll see as a whole यो एउटा तपाईले common screen मा हेर्नु भयो भने चाहिँ IT has not been separate from any institutions that's what I would like to call so 10 years back when we started Merojob so that was the simple thing that we had in the mind we are providing a solutions and these all company have been providing some solutions जुन चाहिँ पहिला थिएन so त्यो नभएको केसेसमा चाहिँ the solution that they provided has been highly accepted by the customer so at the end of the day you as a developer you as a coder what you need to understand is there are human beings who will use your platform or the solutions that you will provide so as a human being उहाँले के सोच्नुहुन्छ भन्ने कुरा तपाईहरुले सोच्न एकदमै जरुरी छ so एउटा तपाईको ट्रेडिसनली मात्रै नसोचिकन चाहिँ एज एन बिजनेस पोइन्ट अफ भ्यू बाट पनि सोच्न एकदमै जरुरी छ at times what we do in our organizations iLogic मा जति पनि IT team हुनुहुन्छ we engage them with the customer as well so that they need to understand what customer is trying to say right so we talk a lot of time about user experience user interface so यो केसेसलाई चाहिँ हामीले प्र्याक्टिसमै लिएर आएको छौं हाम्रो जति पनि तपाईको डेभलपमेन्टहरु that we do in Merojob that we do based on that so यो केसेसमा the solutions provider has been all the solution provided has been somehow related to IT as in segment IT as in industry सँग चाहिँ तपाईको close association छ यो सबै कम्पनीमा they most of them already either have outsourced कुनै institutionलाई चाहिँ गरेर चाहिँ टेक्नोलोजी savvy भइरहनु भएको छ or they have their own in house team बनाइसक्नु भएको छ now with this after pandemic त कस्तो सिचुएसन देखिन्छ भन्दा फेरि चाहिँ even the सानो भन्दा सानो कम्पनीले पनि आजको दिनमा चाहिँ they will have IT as a team so recently I was in during the pandemic भर्खरै तपाईको यो लकडाउनहरु चाहिँ बिस्तारै लिफ्ट अप हुँदा फेरि चाहिँ I went to an organizations where I found so trading business they were dealing with the paint industry and they had 2 people in the IT and it was really encouraging for me to know and it was just not about the networking and other things they were trying to think of some solutions on their own So I just would like to go back to an history where Merojob आजको दिनमा हामी जुन स्थानमा छौँ यो स्थानमा हामी आइपुग्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो 10 yearsलाई चाहिँ हामीले रियलाइज गर्नु पर्दाखेरिको केसेसमा चाहिँ so what idea that clicked actually 10 years back which took us to this level आजको दिनमा चाहिँ हेर्नु भयो भने चाहिँ I would like to call it employer branding. In employer branding, recruitment as a solution was what we think of and what we provided to our clients. So what does it mean? I'll just briefly explain it to you. So normally there are times where an organization say growing phase they separate a really good amount in terms of marketing. Marketing र promotion को लागि चाहिँ तपाईको छुटाउन चाहिँ थाल्नुहुन्छ. तर in case of employer, just say as an organizations, what you do is you need people to work with you. Until unless you have a good people, experienced and expert people joining your organizations, you definitely will not be able to grow. So सबै organization आजको दिनमा के चाहिएको छ? राम्रो भन्दा राम्रो इम्प्लोइ चाहिएको छ, राम्रो भन्दा राम्रो हेड काउन्टहरु चाहिएको छ, राम्रो भन्दा राम्रो टिम चाहिएको छ आजको दिनमा. So we came up with an idea. We call it we developed a link block. So we call it link block in our internal term. This has not been. I mean, usually we don't say, we have never shared this idea previously in the public platform. So so when we started 10 years back, if I have to remember, there were clients we were really shy who did not wanted to disclose their name as an organization. There was a simple thing that we told to them was, until and unless you inform people about your organizations, until unless they will know about your company, you'll not get a good candidate for your organizations. So तपाईं यदि राम्रो organization हो भने चाहिँ you as an employer ले चाहिँ job opportunity create गर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ you as an employer need to now think of how to create your brand as an employer. I'm the best place to work. मेरोमा चाहिँ one of the best environment छ काम गर्नको लागि चाहिँ. So there are lots of facility and benefits that we provide. So हाम्रोमा चाहिँ there are lots of flexibility that we have been providing. So globally हेर्नुभयो भने there are lots of examples that we can learn from Western side. So Google को कसैले कुरा गरे भने what they would like to talk is they have an sleeping pot to have nap in between your office time. So that's really fascinating, right? That's employer branding. They have established themselves with that regard. So they don't have any rigid time. The employee can come, specific position like employee can come and work for 8 hours at any time. So that's a convenience that they have provided. That's an employer as a brand create garnako lagi चाहिँ. That's how the idea actually explored 10 years back. And what we thought was, unless company do not showcase their logo or the name, definitely they will not get good candidates. That's how we started. It really clicked. 10 वर्ष अगाडि, I will go to the next page. We call it customized page, and we knew that most of the company, they could not afford to make their career page. That's the idea that we took it. So what we did was, we had a graphic designing team. The team board, we started making career pages for the clients. All the vacancy, most of the vacancy, almost 80 to 85% of the vacancy that has been published in Merojob actually has a career page for a client. So we provide this as a solution, right? So we provide this as a solution to our clients, since they might not have a separate team to do it. So we do it on their behalf. So that's what clicked actually 10 years back. So we were able to do it in 3 years of time. We had the hardest time in those 3 years. So 2-3 वर्षमा चाहिँ we went through all the pain, So जब हामीले सुरु गरेको थियौं त्यो टाइममा चाहिँ people were not that technology savvy. Most of the recruitment that had been in the market was सबैले आफ्नो हिसाबले गर्नुहुन्थ्यो, आफ्नै तरिकाले गर्नुहुन्थ्यो most of the cases मा चाहिँ गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ. र online or digital platform was not the first option. It would be probably not in the list. So that's what we provided as a solution. Now, if I have to give a message to you when it comes to future of IT or innovation page as an example. So this was not the actual idea initially. We had a very plain page. We call it top banner. Your top banner there was something different idea. एउटा client को page develop गर्नको लागि we took around 10 days time as well. So we did it from one of the automobile industry. They were really demanding. I'm like 10 दिनसम्म लागेको थियो हाम्रो टिमलाई चाहिँ एउटा पेज बनाउनको. So आजको दिनमा चाहिँ we have an efficiency where we can make more than 10 or 12 such spaces in a day. Team there are lots of effort that's actually required. There are people who ask with the client about the detail, business understanding phase. There are lots of clients who have been actually giving idea. Now looking at आजको डेटको सिचुएसन चाहिँ तपाईले हेर्नुभयो भने चाहिँ after the COVID, now it's a golden period for all the IT graduates. That's what I would like to call it. Somehow everyone understood the importance of technology आजको टाइममा चाहिँ है. And the user from Nepal, if you'll see, so 24 million users who have access to internet itself is an encouraging data that we need to understand. So तपाईको 24 million मा चाहिँ so एउटा वाइफाई बाट चाहिँ मल्टिपल मान्छे कनेक्ट हुन सक्ने पोसिबिलिटीलाई पनि एक्सप्लोर गरिएको छ खासमा हेर्नुहुन्छ भने. So majority of the population are already there in technology, means they have access to informations via World Wide Web. So यो केसेसमा so the company, it's a right step for all the companies to go so with these solutions. So to all the fresh graduates, if you are thinking of joining an organization or doing something yourself, so तपाईको लागि simple message के हो भन्दाखेरि you just need to identify what solution that you need to provide or what solution that you want to actually provide to use market that's available in Nepal. There are lots of things that we can actually learn from the market where we already have. There are lots of innovative entrepreneurs who have already provided many such solutions. So more innovative research I think that's definitely going to help you. Or alternative, if you are joining an organization, join as an IT graduate, so you need to understand that what skill set that you would have, the company it will help to grow. You need to understand that what are the skill set that's required. Now post-COVID, if you'll see the situations, it's definitely there are 4 points I would like to highlight. So post-COVID situation, first thing first, the market is getting really competitive. The first one is there are 500,000 people who graduate every year. So यसमा तपाईको मेजोरिटी यदि IT लाई नै हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ IT मा तपाईको it's an high competition चाहिँ it's going to happen. Let's say 50,000 people, if they graduate in IT, for an example, these people now are not targeting abroad study. पहिला सायद Australia, USA for the education लागि जानुहुन्थ्यो भने now they will not explore it. बाहिरतिर उहाँले सोच्नुहुन्न, it's get definitely competitive. Second हेर्नुहुन्छ भने ILO ले अहिले रिसेन्टली एउटा डेटा पब्लिश गर्नुभएको थियो जसमा चाहिँ के भन्नुभएको छ भन्दाखेरि 16 लाख देखि चाहिँ 20 लाख सम्म मान्छेले चाहिँ सायद तपाईको जबमा इम्प्याक्ट पर्ने देखिन्छ, which means they might either lose the job or उहाँहरुको आजको दिनमा जे स्टेट छ त्यो भन्दा चाहिँ डाउनग्रेड हुन सक्ने चाहिँ सम्भावना पनि देखिएको छ. Now if people will lose job, there are lots of news that we have actually gone through. So जहाँ चाहिँ हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ people have lost their job. Now they are also coming back to the market, job market, and they are all the competitors for you, right? So third part, once the things will getting normalized, there are lots of people who might come back. So come back to data, there's a wide variety of data that's available in the market. There's a saying that 2 million people, 65 to 85 million people, 8.5 million people will come back to Nepal. 20 लाख देखि लिएर 85 लाख मान्छेसम्म चाहिँ तपाईको नेपालमा रिटर्न आउन सक्नुहुन्छ. Now there's a chances that majority of will belong to IT industry. Just think of यो डेटालाई तपाईले एक ठाउँमा राखेर हेर्नुभयो भने चाहिँ 1.5 देखि 2 लाख मान्छेसँग नै यदि तपाईले if they will come back, there are fresh graduates, there are people who will lose job, हेर्नुभयो भने normal time को situation भन्दा चाहिँ things are getting really complicated. Tara, saying that it's all about you, your mindset, and how you prepare to the job market. Next thing, there's a simple message. We actually don't have work from home adaptation. So I think it's high time that we need to actually develop this as a habit. So हामी घरबाटै काम गर्नको लागि चाहिँ एउटा environment आजको दिनमा हामी सबैले चाहिँ क्रिएट गरिसकेको छौं. सायद we have a corner, we have a space where we have managed. Somehow हामी धेरै जनाले चाहिँ अफिस जानु नपरेको सिचुएसनमा चाहिँ सायद लर्निङ को लागि or even सानसानो काम गर्नको लागि पनि we already have a space in the home. तर think of situations where you regularly work from home on daily basis. There are declaration made by Twitter where they have said they will go immediately work from home ko policy ma gora chai they will allow all their employees to work from home. Facebook had made an announcement that in 10 years of time they will make sure that most of the people will work from home. So all the IT gigs, they have been actually made this declaration. Your declaration, let's say, it's definitely gonna impact in this region as well. तपाईँले हेर्नुभयो भने चाहिँ सो हाम्रो केसेसमा सायद अलिकति ढिलो आउला तर यो सम्भावना चाहिँ एकदमै हाई छ। यहाँनिर अर्को एउटा अपर्च्युनिटी पनि छ नेपालमा। what I've seen is people are really used to it, or whenever they picturize a job or a workplace environment picturization गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ they picturize going office 9 to 5, 5 days a week or 6 days a week or 10 to 6. So physically म अफिसमा प्रेजेन्स भएर चाहिँ म काम गर्छु भन्ने खालको पिक्चराइजेसन चाहिँ ज्यादा गरिन्छ। तर आजको दिनमा इन्डिया र बङ्गलादेशलाई यदि we take it as an example, they have been global leader as in to supply freelancers or freelancing work ko लागि चाहिँ they have been the global leader. For the past 3-4 years देखि नै they have been growing a lot. There are lots of people who do freelancing. हाम्रोमा नेपालमा चाहिँ there is no any practices such as freelancing. So it's a great and golden opportunity for us. हामी यदि जब नै पाइनौँ भने पनि we can explore to Upwork, freelancer.com जस्तो वेबसाइटमा गएर चाहिँ we can explore an opportunity where we can give an input. Now यसले गर्दाखेरि तपाईको यो फ्रीलान्सिङ अपर्च्युनिटीले गर्दाखेरि वर्क एन्ड वर्क प्लेस र इन्भाइरोमेन्ट वर्क इन्भाइरोमेन्ट मात्रै चेन्जेस हुँदैन, देयर विल बी चेन्जेस फर द डेफिनेसन अफ द वर्क इटसेल्फ। कामको परिभाषा नै परिवर्तन हुन्छ चाहिँ हामी भन्छौँ। द रिजन इज, so if you go to a freelancer website, if you register yourself there, so if you apply to any of the specific tasks जहाँ चाहिँ तपाईको त्यहाँनिर चाहिँ मलाई यो सोल्युसन चाहिएको छ or मलाई यो चाहिँ एज एन this is what I expect भन्ने हिसाबमा कसैले पनि भन्नुहुन्छ भने you just apply, and there are a bunch of people where you will have to do there are interviews, or they will ask your portfolio and details such like, and they'll give you a job and you have a deadline to be completed. At times deadlines are just hours. In 3 hours I'll get it done, or I'll get it done in 3 days. So what will matter is worker performance matter गर्छ यो केसेसमा चाहिँ। So freelancing is a golden opportunity for all the Nepalese as well, किनभने हाम्रो यो side of the market हेर्नुभयो भने we are really economical when it comes to other region of the world. So I think freelancing is an opportunity which everyone can explore at this moment of time. So even job पाउनु भएन, even तपाईले भनौँ न यदि entrepreneurship को opportunity पाउनु भएन भने चाहिँ you can still explore freelancing where you can add on lots of skills that's required. अर्को चाहिँ हामी सबैले अब चाहिँ बुझ्न जरुरी के छ भन्दाखेरि we should start developing a self learning habit. What does that mean is, normally there are lots of trainings, there are lots of जहाँ चाहिँ हामी फिजिकल प्रेजेन्स भएर चाहिँ गर्ने गर्थ्यौँ आजसम्मको टाइममा। यदि हामी ट्रेडिसनली कुरा गर्ने अलमोस्ट मोस्ट अफ द केसेसमा चाहिँ त्यो कुराहरू सम्भव थियो। इभन कन्फरेन्सेसहरू, देयर इज टु बी कन्फरेन्सेस इन थ्रु आउट द ग्लोब जाने चाहिँ नेप्लिजहरू पनि रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्नुहुन्थ्यो। सो फिजिकल प्रेजेन्स नै खोजिन्थ्यो। आजको दिनमा भर्चुअली इट्स पोसिबल। सो तपाईँको हरेक रिजनमा चाहिँ देयर आर कन्फरेन्सेस ह्यापनिङ, देयर आर कन्क्लेभ ह्यापनिङ, एन्ड इट्स पोसिबल ग्लोबली, सो थ्रु डिजिटल प्लेटफर्म। There are lots of such medium where people have been using and getting, gathering in a space to learn something or to deliver something. So self-learning habit is one of the critical traits that we need to develop now after the COVID. If you'll see, that I would say now things will get different. So there are platforms like LinkedIn platforms, Coursera, edX. If you see all this, so there are organizations which will buy the packages in these platform now and ask you to do a self-learning. So यो ट्रेन्ड चाहिँ तपाईको अहिले बढी पनि सकेको छ र अझै नै तपाईको यो बढ्ने सम्भावना पनि छ। So if we as a student or in fresh graduate we don't have this, I think it's a message from my side to have this skill. So that's the message that I would like to give. I think it's a golden opportunity for me as well. I mean, closely we have been working in the job market where we have been dealing with lots of clients. We have been discussing on pros and cons, how to move ahead. So what are the things that we need to change immediately and all. And your platform, the informations that I've shared, it's definitely, I guess it's going to be helpful to you all. So that's the end of the detail that I would like to share from my side. Is there any questions? I would be happy to answer. So I'd like to hand it over to the team now.
Okay, thank you so much, Bishnuji. So yes, a couple of questions chat ma aako cha haina. I will be like putting forward this, but त्यो भन्दा अगाडि I have pointed out a few highlights of this session essentially भनौँ न. So I really like the way you put the hard-hitting facts के सुरुमा. Like हामीहरूले realize गर्नुपर्छ कि the skills that we need to get certificate भएर मात्र हुँदैन. अथवा फ्रेस ग्रेजुएट्सहरूले एकदम मजाले पर्फर्म गर्न सकिरहेको छैन एन्ड दि अदर पोइन्ट इज कम्पनीज आर लुकिङ फर रिजल्ट ओरिएन्टेड अथवा प्रब्लम सल्भिङ स्किल अथवा प्रब्लम सल्भिङ माइन्डसेट भएको कुराहरू सो एकदमै हार्ड स्किल्स मात्र नभएर सफ्ट स्किल्सको कुराहरू विच यु गेन ओभर टाइम थ्रु एक्सपिरियन्स सो त्यो कुराहरू पनि खोजिरहेछ भन्ने कुरा गर्नुभयो अनि द्याट्स रियली फ्यान्टास्टिक टु नो एन्ड यु अल्सो लाइक अर्ज्ड अस टु थिङ्क अबाउट what makes us stand out, right? So त्यो पनि एकदम like that kept me pondering for some time भनौँ न personally पनि and I liked how you mentioned we need to be tech savvy and we need to develop a self-learning habit. So यो कुराहरू चाहिँ एकदमै मन पर्यो हजुरको entire sessionबाट. There were a couple of questions in the chat which I have pointed out र मेरो पनि एउटा personal एक दुईवटा question छ. So first of all, there was a question regarding edutech industry. So हजुरले like अरू industry को कुरा गर्नुभयो, but education technology field मा चाहिँ कतिको धेरै opportunitiesहरू आइरहेछ अहिले?
In fact, there are lots of growing top 20, top 25 normal situation on the ferry. I personally know EduSanjal has been doing really well. They were able to gather the lots of crowd. But again, if you'll see, there are limitations on those things as well. There are, education institutions as in उहाँहरूको आफ्नो डिटेलहरू सेयर भएको छ. दे हेभ बिन एउटा कमन प्लेटफर्ममा दे हेभ बिन मोरली हाइलाइट अन टु रिजल्ट्स एन्ड दोज थिङ्स. र एजुकेसन एज एन एकाडेमीको हिसाबमा हेर्नुहुन्छ भने आई थिङ्क नाउ जुन बेसरा सरले पनि अघि भनि नै हाल्नुभयो, देयर आर सम स्पेसिफिक रुल्स एन्ड गाइडलाइन्स विच एन इन्स्टिट्युसन निड टु फलो. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि नै लिमिटेसन्सहरू पनि भइरहेछ. उहाँहरूले आफूले पनि दे वान्ट टु एक्सप्लोर लट्स अफ थिङ्स, दे आर नट बिन एबल टु डु इट. आई थिङ्क देयर इज एन ग्रेट स्कोप when it comes to एकाडेमिक or an एजुकेसनल तपाईँको पार्टबाट हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ आई सी अ ग्रेट स्कोप. तर यसमा लिमिटेसन चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि द सोल्युसन्स द्याट एन इन्स्टिट्युसन्स लाइक विच आर अलरेडी बिन इन द मार्केट, कलेज एनपी हेर्नुहोस् अर एडुसन्जालको हेर्नुहोस्. सो यसमा चाहिँ थोरै इनोभेसन्स आउनु चाहिँ सायद जरुरी छ भन्ने खालको चाहिँ मैले फिलिङ चाहिँ देख्छु है आफ्नो साइडबाट चाहिँ. येट आई थिङ्क इट्स एन अनट्याप्ड अपर्च्युनिटिज एज अफ नाउ.
Okay, that's fantastic. I have 3 more questions and I'd like to request you to keep it short as you just did because time limitations. So अर्को question चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि तपाईहरुकै मेरो जबकै डेटाबाट हेर्दाखेरि the applicants to selection conversion rate is pretty low, right? So जतिवटा एप्लिकेसन आउँछ सेलेक्ट चाहिँ अलिक कम हुन्छ. सो यसको लागि के हुन सक्छ? यो आई सी दिस एज अ प्रब्लम बिकज अरू अझ धेरै अपर्च्युनिटी हामीले क्रिएट गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ कि व्हाट्स योर इनसाइट अन दैट?
Thank you, and thank you for highlighting these things. You चाहिँ हामीले last time चाहिँ when we started discussing with the job seekers, applicants कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ frequently आइरहेछ. We held ourselves responsible for these things. There are a few things that we are coming up now. यसमा चाहिँ अब the only thing that's required is activities between the employer जसले चाहिँ announcement गर्नुहुन्छ र candidates जसले चाहिँ apply गर्नुहुन्छ त्यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ there are lots of activities model that we are bringing. For an example, बाई म्यान्डेटोरी सर्टलिस्टिङ गर्नै पर्छ भन्ने खालको चाहिँ हामीले एउटा सिचुएसन्सहरू क्रिएट गर्ने चाहिँ सोचिरहेछौँ. देयर आर लिमिटेसन्स द्याट वी माइट ब्रिङ इन टर्म्स अफ एप्लिकेन्टलाई चाहिँ हामी के गर्छौँ भन्दाखेरि एउटा सिङ्गल डेको लिमिटेसन, विकको लिमिटेसन अर मन्थको लिमिटेसन्सहरू चाहिँ क्रिएट गर्ने हाम्रो सोच छ. किनभने वी हेभ सिन द्याट one candidate had applied to more than 100 jobs in a single day and blindly सबैमा नै एप्लाई गर्नु भएको छ. Probably that might be in frustration or desperately job खोजिरहनु भएको छ. There might be various reasons behind that. तर हामी पोजिटिभ साइडमा नै हेरिरहेछौँ. Yet we think that restriction आउन जरुरी छ. So restrictionमा पनि हामीले we already have a system where if client will permit, what we do is उहाँहरूले चाहिँ यदि ब्याचलर डिग्री कम्प्लिट गरेको भन्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ बिलो ब्याचलर डिग्री यदि कसैको प्रोफाइलमा डिटेल छैन भने चाहिँ we restrict those candidate to apply. यदि कुनै क्लाइन्टले चाहिँ 5 years of experience भन्नुहुन्छ र 5 years of experience यदि भएन भने चाहिँ त्यो केसेसमा चाहिँ हामी रेस्ट्रिक्सन्सहरू गर्ने सोचिरहेछौँ. नाउ अदर देन द्याट हायर साइडमा हेर्नुहुन्छ भने इम्प्लोयरको रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी छ. इम्प्लोयरको रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटीमा चाहिँ इट माइट टेक सम टाइम बट वेयर थिङ्किङ अफ कमिङ अप अ च्याट मोडल वेयर क्यान्डिडेट क्यान एक्चुली इन्क्वायर अबाउट देयर एप्लिकेसन डाइरेक्टली टु द इम्प्लोयर. सो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि अल दिस इनिसिएसन्स विल मेक इम्प्लोयर अर अर्गनाइजेसन रेस्पोन्सिबल. सो हाम्रो हिस्ट्री हेर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ वी आर होम ग्रोन कम्पनी र एउटा सोल्युसन जुन सुरुमा लिएर आयौँ र त्यसलाई चाहिँ एक ठाउँमा लाँदाखेरि चाहिँ वी अल अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द मार्केट साइड इट सेल्फ इज रियली लो. नेपालको कन्टेक्समा हेर्नुहुन्छ द पपुलेसन साइज द तपाईँको अर्को एउटा तपाईँको इन्फर्मेसन चाहिँ यदि मैले दिएँ भने वान अफ द मोस्ट सरप्राइजिङ इन्फर्मेसन इज 85% अफ द भ्याकेन्सी अनाउन्स्ड आइदर इन तपाईँको पत्रिकामा अरू कुनै पनि जब साइटमा अनाउन्स हुने भनेको इट्स सेन्ट्रिक टु काठमाडौँ भ्याली अनाउन्समेन्टको केसमा. सो मोस्ट अफ द पिपल आर लुकिङ फर काठमाडौँ भ्याली मात्रै हेरिरहनु भएको छ. सो यो रिजनले गर्दाखेरि देयर आर लट्स अफ लिमिटेसन. येट we are responsible for that. And I told you these are the things that we are coming up in the future to make employer more responsible.
Okay, thank you so much. So अर्को क्वेसन रहेको छ because of the onset of AI and automation भनौँ न, सो धेरै जस्तो जुन म्यानुअल लेबरको कामहरू हुन्थ्यो त्यो जबहरू चाहिँ लाइक कम हुँदै गइरहेछ, नट डिरेक्टली रिलेटिङ टु द आइटी फिल्ड, बट यसको लागि चाहिँ टु ओभरकम दिस थिङ कस्तो टाइपको स्किल सेट चाहिँ बढीमा फोकस गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ अब फ्युचरमा चाहिँ?
Look, यदि ML, AI, अगमेन्टेड रियालिटी हामी यो सबै कुरा गर्छौँ भने चाहिँ हाम्रो आफ्नो नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ there are just bunch of people only who had those expertise हाम्रो आफ्नो पर्सनल अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङमा चाहिँ हामी यो देख्छौँ। तपाईँको लार्जर स्केलमा चाहिँ मलाई यदि इस्युहरू भन्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ पिपल आर स्टिल नट technology friendly, majority of the population. So until and unless you have a market for yourself, or even global situation which is a high competitive market, so to situation the investment that you make to make AI or ML गर्नको लागि चाहिँ तपाईले गर्नुहुन्छ भने चाहिँ त्यसको रिटर्नको केसेसमा चाहिँ there is a big question that you will ask to yourself. एउटा किनभने यसलाई भन्छ नि the infrastructure that we need to develop, the development that we need to do in course of time, किनभने overnight हुने कुरा चाहिँ होइन। स्कोप एकदमै राम्रो छ किनभने वर्ल्ड वाइड तपाईको भनौँ न यो इट्स एन ग्लोबल चार्म that has been created। जस्तै हाम्रो इन्डियाको कन्फरेन्समा लास्ट इयर हामी जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ what we found was तपाईको इन्टरभ्यूहरू they have made it through AI। there are exams तपाईको जस्तै भनौँ न एउटा इम्प्लोइमेन्ट अपर्च्युनिटीको एक्जामहरू लिने, कलेजको यदि एक्जामहरू लिने पनि तपाईको स्क्रिन प्रक्टरिङ गरेर तपाईको इन्डिभिजुअल प्रक्टरिङ गरेर चाहिँ लिन सक्ने अलरेडी सिस्टम छ, दे हेभ बीन युजिङ इट। हाम्रो केसेसमा हेर्नुहुन्छ नि वी आर नट बिन एबल टु एक्चुली डु इट किनभने द कस्ट इटसेल्फ इज। सो मैले तपाईको एकजना इन्डिभिजुअलको मैले यो टेक्नोलोजी लिएर आएर नेपालमा सोल्युसन दिएँ भने इट विल कस्ट मी त्यो जुन अलरेडी एभाइलेबल भएको साउथ एसियन रिजनमा एभाइलेबल भएको सोल्युसनलाई 5,000 रुपियाँ पर्छ पर इन्डिभिजुअल, एन्ड नोबडी वुड लाइक टु डु इट। 1 आवरको सेसनलाई चाहिँ proctoring methodology assessment कसैले गर्नु पर्यो भने they will not be interested to do it. So what I'm trying to say is the opportunity is unlimited, yet we have limitation in terms of market and the understanding of the people of this technology. So मैले यदि तपाईको भन्न AI based interview management system लाई लिएर आए भने जाने चाहिँ system will generate questions, you have to answer, तपाईको eye movement ले गर्दा तपाईको facial expression ले गर्दा फेरि everything is recorded and then त्यसले एउटा तपाईको डेटा पपुलेट गर्न सक्छ भने people are not that savvy as of now नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा हेर्नु भयो भने चाहिँ। सो आई थिङ्क इट्स एन ग्रेजुअल प्रोसेस, येट नेक्स्ट डिकेडलाई हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ there is a hope that we can be really hopeful.
Okay, thank you so much. So हजुरको सबै एन्सर्सहरू वर भेरी इन्साइटफुल। ड्यू टु टाइम लिमिटेसन्स हामीले यो सेसन चाहिँ यही नै एन्ड गर्नुपर्ने छ। सो थ्याङ्क यू सो मच अगेन विष्णुजी। डेटा ब्याक्ड इन्टायर प्रेजेन्टेसन वाज डेटा ड्रिभन, सो द्याट वाज रियली अमेजिङ। अनि च्याटमा पनि एकदमै धेरै लाइक इन्टरेक्सन र इङ्गेजमेन्टहरू पनि आइरहेको थियो। सो वान लास्ट टाइम आइड लाइक टु थ्याङ्क यू सो मच फर दिस अमेजिङ सेसन।
Thank you so much. Namaskar. This is a new normal again, I would like to say, and sorry for the technical glitch that I have faced initially and you had to wait for some time. And thanks to Code for Change and the the whole Conclave Tech Conclave 2020 team life for giving me this opportunity to be here and speak about my expertise and experience. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.